Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.
Hello friends, and welcome to Fairfield Today. Paul Jasson with you, telecasting from the lobby downtown of Fairfield Federal. Again, they're closed here for normal business. You can get in, you need to call, set up an appointment. We'd be glad to have you in. Everything's available. The information is all on fairfieldfederal.com, but they're nice enough to let us come in and do our shows each time we do them here. So we're very thankful for that and appreciative of all the good folks here at Fairfield Federal. Begin with an update. We like to talk about what's going on in Lancaster and Fairfield County. Probably nobody that we talk to on a regular basis can give us more information than Fran Tiberzio. Fran is the marketing director of Visit Fairfield County. Their website, visitfairfieldcounty.org. I would tell you to go to that, but it's so new that I haven't even been to it since they've updated it. Everything's moving on there, right?
Yeah, we keep looking for better ways to share information, and we're covering more things, and we just, whatever the visitor needs, we try to make it easy for them to find.
I'm amazed, and we can talk about it, we'll get into it, but you've got an app?
Yes,
an app now? A YouTube channel coming? I mean, where does it end?
It doesn't. That's the good part.
And there's so the app, you get on there and it's very interactive. You can use it.
Very much so. You can choose whatever you're interested in and put it in the search bar, and let's say you're interested in shopping. You put shopping and it will map every shop, every locally owned shop in the county. How do you find it in your app store? Is it just Visit Fairfield County? Visit Fairfield County.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I was looking at some of the things on there. You have a digital version of your catalog out now. I'm sure much less expensive.
Yeah, much.
And people will use it in still not a huge expense.
Exactly, and also I think the pandemic has kind of changed the way marketing for tourism works, and we realized we never know what's going to happen. So listing this printed calendar of events for the year is just impossible. So we wanted to do it so our viewers, our readers can still get the information, but check with us on social media and our website for the events that are coming up. So we just cut the calendar
I've
events
talked
out.
to almost, of all the people I talked to, and many nonprofits, but a lot of businesses, and they've had to restructure what they've done in the last year. I mean, what was a year ago, what went, can't go now. Exactly. So you've had to change some things. But I think what many people are finding, and perhaps you here, are finding that some of these changes, even if the pandemic were gone today, no more, you would continue doing some of these things because you find out for your purposes, it's a better way.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's something, a big shift like this makes you realize that it's not always better to do the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
So there are new and better ways of doing what we do.
And so some of them will continue on even once this is all over. You found out that it works for you.
Definitely.
Yeah. So Fran Tiberzio with visitfairfieldcounty.org. That's their website up there. But when you look at your website, my golly, there's I don't know that there's anything you don't do. Lodging, outdoor attractions, historic and heritage tours here in Fairfield County, places to go. You got covered bridges, brew and a wine trail. We talked about a little bit about that, but and trails. I forget what it was when you had. It was around the festival last year. I don't know, but there was something you were. It was that Harry Potter kind of stuff that's remarkably big right now, or at least it was a while back. But now there's things coming up, and trails for you are a big deal. You have a lot of trails with a lot of nice themes going on, and one of them I don't think we've talked about is a Java trail.
Yeah, we found that to be really popular. It's just all the independently owned coffee shops around the county.
Around the county.
Yep. Because we're Visit Fairfield County, so we're all over the place. But it's, like El City is on it, Das Coffee House in Lithopolis, and Spades Coffee Shop in Amanda, Porter's and Pickerington. All the great places that you can get coffee. And we actually have a challenge as part of our app. So if you check in at each of those coffee shops on our app, you win a prize.
And that's over an extended period of time?
It's as long as it takes you to do it.
Yeah. So just get people to get out and go places. And most of these places are open now, perhaps limited seating, maybe not like they were, but they're open and still doing business, and encourage you to come in. I mean, they need you to come in. Are you seeing small businesses, and just like we've talked about, they've changed, have learned how to cope with this now?
We're all trying as hard as we can. So, some are able to a little bit better than others, but, everybody's doing what they can to get through this.
Yeah. So a lot of information, again, on their updated website. You can find tons of stuff on there to do that. Let's see. Boy, you got so much we can talk about. I mean, it's just amazing. You're working with DDL on some of this stuff. Again, the other organization that kind of works mostly right here in this area where we are right now, but the two of you together kind of pairing up on some things.
Sure, we work together on a lot of things. We did the Holiday Spirit Trail together, and so our thanks to everyone who participated in the Holiday Spirit Trail, whether you put lights on your house or decorated your shop window or got in the car and drove around and looked at them. It was just a cool thing to do around Christmas. So we appreciate all the support that we got for that. We got a lot of local support for that.
So here we are, and we're just starting February now. Valentine's Day right around the corner, some things coming up, holidays. Still busy time for you?
Oh yeah, it is. We've just launched a new monthly newsletter in January.
Talk about that. So, that's pretty nice. That's a nice deal.
And
now, can you subscribe to that?
Absolutely. On our website, you can just hit a button that you want to subscribe to it. We're also trying to help support local businesses and attractions by doing video. Promotional videos. Yeah. It's winter, but the shops need support, the restaurants need support, museums need support. Everybody needs to, if you can, get out and support. And that's one of the things that we were really pleased that DDL launched that electronic gift card program. So hopefully that'll generate some easier business and a variety of support for our downtown shops.
I know you work months, if not years, but certainly months ahead. Summer looking pretty active for you?
Well, summer's always active, and if nothing else, we have 8,000 acres of green space in Fairfield County. So we are pitching our outdoor space always. Parks, nature preserves, the covered bridges. We have all kinds of things to do outside. So, yeah, summer's busy.
And again, visit fairfieldcounty.org is the website. They have an updated website, some new features on there. And again, there's just anything and everything about Fairfield County is on there. Fran's told us about a new app they have. That's pretty cool. So just you can go to your search engine and in your app store and visit Fairfield County and find that. That sounds very cool to have. Is that really new?
Yeah.
New.
Yeah, that's new.
Are you? And you're getting a lot of response from that, you think?
Yeah. We get weekly summaries from the app store that tells us how many people are using it, how long the sessions are.
And then you use some of that information to tailor what you do as to, people want to find out about green space. So your emphasis then in the future, perhaps more to that? Is that how it works?
Exactly, yeah. You get it.
Yeah, I get it. And again, the digital newsletter, that's a great idea. I know DDL puts it out, and every Friday, bang, it just pops on my phone, and it's there, and a lot of good information. I imagine a lot of information on your newsletter, too.
We're going to be, each month we'll be covering a shop, a restaurant, a park, and an event venue, as well as, whatever events are on the calendar, and other cool information, and we'll share a video, blog, and all that good stuff.
Have you? And we had last week we had on Jolynn Pugh with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, and they have a big event coming up here soon, and they're having out at what's called the Maxi Event Center out on East Main Street, kind of behind Totten's Carpet right there. Is that involved? Are they involved in anything you got going on yet?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a huge space. That's ginormous.
He gave me a tour of that, and I was blown away. I mean, the nice murals on the wall, Cap City, and the room that they have, and they just keep doing more. The big stage up there, and I was talking to Mike Tharp about this park. They have this, what is that, hatchet throwing or something he's into. But he's not right, and you probably know that as well as anybody. He's not right, but they're into this hatchet throwing. They've got almost anything you can do. You can park inside out there. They could put.
I know.
I think Jolynn told me when she was on that they could have 200 to 250 people socially distanced out there.
Yep.
That tells you how big this is.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's the biggest venue around.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now something, and I wanted to touch on right here. We talked about trails. That's a hot thing, and I think the first one I realized was a couple years ago. I saw this wine trail going on where you could go from Athens to Fairfield to Franklin. I mean, it's just like you say. And then you guys came up now with a new one called a Java Trail, but there's a kind of an intriguing one that, and I don't think it's all planned out yet. I think you're just kind of started working on it. Maybe more of a summer thing. I don't know about that. Maybe with Valentine's Day, we'll see. But it's a Sweet Tooth Trail. That is, I just think, so many possibilities.
All over the county too. When
Yeah.
you think about all of the bakeries, the ice cream shops,
Oh,
the
my.
candy shops,
Oh.
all of those places
Yeah.
would be included on that. And that's a great way to get people, again, out and moving around the county, is to have a trail. Tell them exactly where to go to get exactly what they want.
And that's how it'll be. You'll have a link on there. You'll look at it and it'll put these on there, and then you'll be able to check off when you do these things. So it'll be just like the typical ones you do. Are you just starting to work on that now?
Yeah, we're basically preparing it
Yes.
right now. But the thing about a trail is we just have to know where the places are and what they sell. It's easy. Then we put it in the app and we put it on our website, and it sells itself.
And again, I think in this time when things are, you don't maybe go as many places, maybe to see something like that. Oh, let's hit another place up today. So maybe our next couple times out, we'll try to hit some of these sweet places. And what better than like you say, a bakery or I know there are candy stores around that serve candy. Lots of ice cream venues in Lancaster and Fairfield County. It's good to know all that, to have it all listed on your website too.
Exactly. Yeah, we make it easy.
Well, I guess that's your job, to make all this around easy. So, you've come through 2020, survived that, moved to 2021. Things look a lot different, you think, this year, knowing what you know now as opposed to last year, coming in here and kind of feeling your way for 6 months?
Oh, yeah. Things are going to be different this year. We're still not going to have big events in the spring, and, that's just it's not smart, and it's not safe, and it's not going to happen. So
you don't know about things like, the festival or the fair, even as far down as the festival or even the fair in the fall, quite a ways off, I guess.
We can't guess what's going to
Everything's
happen
up
by
in the
then.
air.
Yeah.
I guess you just have to assume it's going to be a little wacky for a while, and then
You won't be disappointed.
Yeah. The only thing you'll be constant is change.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just be flexible.
Roll with it.
And again, they have a tremendous amount of information on the website. Visit fairfieldcounty.org.
Follow us on Facebook. Visit Fairfield County, Ohio.
Very good.
Instagram. We're launching the YouTube channel. We want to put ourselves out there.
You're talking about so many things that are just so foreign to me. I mean, I've learned how to email, and that may be the extent of my knowledge. Being an older person, technology is a struggle at times, but I will say that the things on your website, the links, and getting the app, very easy to use. They are very user friendly.
Yeah, that's the point. We want people to use it. We want them to use it with ease.
And I'm appreciative of that.
You're very welcome.
Fran Tiberzio, who's marketing director with visitfairfieldcounty.org. Thank you for being on. Always fun to have you on. And it seems like every time we're on, you got a zillion things going on, and lodging and attractions in Fairfield County. A lot to promote.
Yep, absolutely. It's a
You're
full-time job.
You're the place to do it.
That's it.
Visit fairfieldcounty.org. Thanks, Fran, for being with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area where the fountain is and the memorials and the flags and all this stuff. And we looked around and I said, there's our bank right there.
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. And the employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And thanks to Fairfield Federal, and as we know, as we mentioned earlier, the lobby's closed, so you can get here by appointment. You just need to give them a ring, and either here or over on Pierce Avenue or up at Pickerington. All the information's on fairfieldfederal.com. They'll certainly glad to have you in here. If you need to talk to a bank or need to talk to someone personally, they can handle that. But just to come in, you can still use the drive-through at all the locations. It's no problem at all, and the drive-throughs can be pretty busy. So yeah, just whatever works best for you. Just look at fairfieldfederal.com. They got all that good information on there. Pleasure to have back with us now, Director of Community Relations for Fairfield County Disabilities, Temple Custer Montañez. Temple, how are you?
I'm good, Polly. How are you?
Thank you for coming in.
Did you do this for me?
We didn't have it for anyone else.
Well, you said no one can come in the lobby, and then I walk in, and there's
here you
this,
are,
and so
and it's just
it's
for you.
very romantic.
Very, very
I'm
nice.
so glad I got
it?
out of my sweatpants today
I
and
was
came
going
in
to say,
see this.
and believe me, I've gotten out of some lesser things than a coat and tie to be here too. So
I've zoomed with you a couple times and seen you in your OSU garb. So
it's actually good to get out, Beryl, because it isn't something that I do a lot of. A beautiful day here in Fairfield County.
It is. So thank you for having me.
Just as an overview, DD has weathered the storm.
We are weathering the storm, and it, can you believe it's almost been a year?
I know.
Unbelievable.
About right now, things were starting. I mean, you were hearing things.
Right.
There were things happening.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy. Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities. We're currently supporting just over 1,350 individuals.
Wow.
Throughout Fairfield County and their families. We always say that, and their families as
Sure.
well, because that's certainly an integral part of what we do when we talk about supporting individuals. We have not missed a beat. We have 160-ish employees that are all working remotely for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been able to maintain all of that. And so, it's the new normal, I guess, right?
Are you Zoom meeting out?
Zoom.
Does yours have all the people on there on your, can you see them all?
Oh yeah, I can. And I'm constantly adjusting that screen too to see how you get rid of the double chin. So I haven't mastered that yet. But
what
isn't
I'm
it
always
funny? Like Zoom has become a verb.
And what I'm amazed about is, and you see so much on TV, I watch a lot of sports, and you see a lot of people from that. I'm always amazed at how they set up the things behind them, like this.
Yeah.
Like if they've written a book, you'll see the book right there. Or whatever, if they got their kids or their mother-in-law right there. Everybody wants a great venue behind them. It's kind of fun to see that kind of stuff.
Fun. I like to. The Christmas decorations were great.
Very judgy.
Looking at people's trees during the holiday season. So.
Now, something to get back to FCDDs a little bit. The vaccines are starting to roll out now. We're starting to see things here in Ohio. Maybe not as much as we wanted. The governor is, doing the best they can to get all this stuff to us. But you guys are involved in kind of the early stages of this.
We are. Who would have thought, that this would ever be in anybody's job description? But yes, we have been working very, very closely with the Fairfield County Health Department, who have been tremendous, transparent, timely in getting us the information that we need. We also work very, very closely with the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities. A lot of people don't realize that people with developmental disabilities are falling into groups 1A and 1B, both for the vaccination.
That's great.
The individuals that are falling into group 1A, which is the first group, which is currently being vaccinated, are individuals who, if they have a developmental disability and they cohabitate or live with another individual with a developmental disability, that automatically qualifies them for the vaccine for 1A. So our first line of business was to get those individuals vaccinated. And we were given a list of names from the Ohio Department of Developmental Disabilities. Then, of course, we scrub through that list ourselves just to make sure that all the information is current.
Sure.
And so if we know of another, this living situation has changed and these two are living together.
Move on.
Then those individuals would qualify. But setting up an actual clinic on Friday at Forster School. We did all the scheduling, all the arranging, all the phone calling, all of our caseworkers, or as we call them, individual support coordinators.
That's out of Forest Rose?
Yeah. Okay. Individual support coordinators have been contacting everybody on their caseload that qualifies, getting all that paperwork, getting all those guardianship forms signed, and they will all be receiving their vaccination on one day. So we'll get right through it. Many thanks
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And many thanks to the Fairfield County Health Department.
Yeah.
They've been bringing...
Larry Hahn and the group, they do, again, it's something they never wanted, but they have stepped up.
Yeah, and they're bringing their team of nurses out. I believe they're volunteers, but maybe some of both. But so they will get all those individuals vaccinated. And you know what's really interesting is that one thing that we've really tried to do at Fairfield DD in the past couple months is to educate people about the vaccine. As you know, Paul, there's so much information out there.
And it changed so often.
It does, and you have to be really cautious about where you get that information.
Facts, not just phony stuff.
Right. So we've taken a lot of the information that the Fairfield County Health Department has given to the community, put it in what we call plain language, and made some
Good
slides.
for your folks to know.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and really anybody, put it in layman's terms. But yeah, put it in plain language and put that information on our social media sites, on the website, to really answer those questions about, what does this mean, and what is a vaccine, and what is it going to hurt, and what do I do after, and how many days, and all those little questions that everybody has.
A lot of moving parts.
We want to make sure that people with developmental disabilities have the exact same information that anyone else would have, number one, and are able to make an informed decision. It's not our job to tell people this is mandatory, this is, but we want to make sure that they're making an educated and an informed decision with information that they can clearly process, and that, because we have a lot of people that we support that are their own guardians, and so
they make all the decisions themselves.
Absolutely. So
I bet they appreciate the help.
I would think so, but more importantly, we appreciate the opportunity to be able to disseminate that information to them.
As your staff, any of the people, are they on any kind of list where they get it first, being teachers and people out there?
I believe teachers, don't quote me on this, but I believe educators are in the 1B category coming up.
1B, still pretty high.
Right. And then also in the 1B category will be individuals with developmental disabilities who have certain qualifying diagnoses, if you will. So it's a complicated process. It's certainly not one that anyone has ever been through before, but the amount of cooperation that we've seen with DODD, with the Fairfield County Health Department, and even amongst, inside Fairfield DD, interdepartment, when you're working remotely and you've got all these, it's like someone took all your parts and scattered them, and yet because of technology, we've really been able to pull together and knock on wood, it's gone much more beautifully than I would have personally
in the segment before you on today's show, I had Fran Taberzio on, and I talked to her, and I've talked to many people in your position about this. Have you found that maybe not many, maybe many, but some of the changes you've made in the past year because of COVID and how you've had to do things remotely, virtually, change your thing, you think if today all of a sudden COVID was gone, you'd continue some of those changes?
Yeah,
I think everybody's finding that out. There's a better way.
I think
we'd have never looked at that.
Well, and I think it sort of forced us to, it pushed us out of the box.
Yes.
It didn't suggest that we step out of the box. We just got shoved out.
The box is gone.
The box is gone. And so, when I say new normal, I do kind of think that.
Yeah.
Now, we have, a new campus and for our down at Forest Rose School. We took over the New Horizons space when they moved out, and so we've made some adjustments as far as office space, but currently no one's really in there a lot.
Everything's
they can
remote
be if they'd like to,
Yes.
if they're comfortable. I go in a couple days a week.
Yeah.
Usually on the days when my husband's home all day. I'm just kidding.
Funny how that
just
works.
Just kidding, honey. Yeah. Right. But it is kind of nice to get up and go in. You miss seeing people.
Yeah.
You miss
That's
that
a big part of that
interaction.
socialization.
I mean,
is
I'm
a
planning
big
on
part of
spending the whole morning here with you, even after we're done. So.
I'm out now, and I'm not going back. Fairfield County Developmental Disabilities is a big umbrella. You do a lot of things, and one of the things you do is just a block or so down the street here with Square 7 and Art and Clay. How is all of this affecting that?
Man, I got to tell you, that team at Art and Clay and Square 7 is the most creative, innovative, determined bunch of people under the direction of Mitzi Neiswanger, and she doesn't get out and do a lot of interviews. It's kind of not her thing, but boy, she's talented. You probably know her family. She's a Clark. Grew up, her dad, Dave Clark, had Arthur Treachers.
Yeah,
and
just
Super
saw a big
Scoop.
article about them in the paper on
her
about
brother
years ago.
Corey's
Arthur
at,
Treachers,
Job
the
and
ice
Family
cream.
Services.
Yep,
So
yep.
they're still around the area. And of course, Mitzi's worked in that service sector since she was 12 years old.
Born into it.
Yeah, scooping ice cream at Super Scoop. So she has a natural flair and knack for running something like Art and Clay and
What an
Square
asset.
7. But boy, she's hired a talented group of people down there, and they have gotten so creative throughout this whole pandemic. You absolutely, they've kept Square 7 open. You can call ahead. They have apps. You can order on the phone. You can pull up. They've got designated spots. They'll run your coffee or your drinks out to you. So they have not missed a beat with that. They get enormous treats and goodies in from Tremont Bakery in Upper Arlington and bring those down. And then, of course, the pottery painting has not stopped. Their December numbers, I got to say, were pretty good, all things considered.
Yeah.
They had to take their seating and cut it in half. But thankfully, people still came out. They still painted those holiday gifts and those Christmas tree ornaments. And she's got so many cool classes going on right now, wet clay classes, virtual classes. They're doing how-to videos. So, if nothing else, you got to follow them on social media. Art and Clay on Maine at Instagram. They're on Twitter. They're on Facebook. They've got so many great ideas. But the coolest thing they've done, Paul,
The coolest
thing, in my opinion, is what they're calling Pogo Kits. Now,
P-O-G-O?
P-O-G-O. It's pottery to go. So, now we're thinking Valentine's Day. You might want to think about this for a little romance, okay?
Oh,
so you can
perfect.
call down there and you can pick up any type of pottery that you want. Plates, cups, saucers. They've got Valentine's pottery.
Yeah.
They will put all the paints together for you, your brushes, everything you need, the ceramic pieces, get it all boxed up in a cute little box. You go down and pick it up, you take it home, you paint it. It could be date night.
Yes.
It could be a fun activity with the kids or grandkids.
Perhaps adult beverages.
So, yes, open a little bottle of vino.
Yes, yes.
And, paint to your heart's content.
And
then, when you're done, take it back down, drop it off at Art and Clay. They will fire everything for you. It'll be you will have made a memory that will last a lifetime unless you drop it.
I wonder if anything like this would have ever come about had not
Probably
all
not.
these changes.
No.
Like you say, you're forced to think outside a little bit, and in many cases, it's a better way.
Absolutely. So pottery to go. So you can call down there, or you can order the things on their website. They've got pictures of everything. And go pick up your stuff, bring it home, paint it, and take it back. They'll fire it for you.
Art and Clay. Go to their website. All the info's on there.
Art and Clay on Maine.com,
Pretty cool.
and they're at 150 West Main Street.
And we've got a couple minutes. I wanted to get on this. With everything being done so remotely, it's easy to, as you've indicated already, it's the socialization aspect is gone. You're away from people. You see them on your computer, and that's all. But you've worked very hard at kind of keeping everybody that you track, where they are,
Yes.
and that they're still needed and cared for.
Absolutely. Our caseworkers are on top of it. They're contacting those individuals that we support. Nearly every person that we support uses a caseworker. Not all, but nearly all. And they haven't missed a beat. And what's been really interesting is a lot of our providers in the area, the adult day services, they're all using Zoom to get people together. And so a lot of the people that we support now have access to technology, and that's how we're communicating with them. And so they've been very innovative as well. The providers have been innovative, but honestly, it's a blessing and a miracle, and we're so grateful that we haven't had to miss a beat when it comes to supporting people in the best way possible.
And you've indicated that throughout our entire talk here. What a good community this is. When this is
We're so
hit,
lucky.
somebody like you and your job and what you do relies so heavily on other aspects of the community to get things done, and it's just been seamless.
It really has, and we're blessed. I mean, we are so blessed in this community, and maybe that's another silver lining.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah. Fairfield County Developmental Disabilities, Temple Custer Montañez, who is a Director of Community Relations down there. Golly, just a lot going on, even in these times. Just a different sort of a lot going on right now, and getting through it, and we'll see what the spring and the summer brings here.
Yes, hopefully lots of fresh air and friendships.
So happy Valentine's Day
Thank
to
you.
you.
This was so
You can
thoughtful
take some of these
you.
home
I
if you'd
will.
like.
I might put one of these on my ear. Just go on my ear.
It'll
right
be
here.
perfect. Well, we have two, so we have two for you. Temple Custer Montañez from the Fairfield County Developmental Disabilities with us, and giving you an update on there. They're getting a lot done down there, even these difficult times with vaccines and just pogo at Art and Clay down there. Just a tremendous amount of things. So we thank her for joining us, and thank you for being with us on Fairfield Today.
Interface Video, in cooperation with Fairfield Federal, presents Fairfield Today. Brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan, Fairfield Medical Center, Fair Hope Hospice and Palliative Care, the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Adam H., Dagger Law, and the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities.